Hello everyone and welcome back to Boulder Cove. This is episode 13 and today we are continuing working on this pretty big town that we started in the last episode. So if you didn't see that one, episode 12 that is, then please go ahead, check it out. I'll wait for you. But quick recap. We built a reasonably sized harbor, pretty big one actually, and a fancy new stadium. It all turned out fantastic in my opinion, and definitely when I started filling in more of this area, it looked way more natural, because it looked kind of like out of place before. But of course, this entire little almost like a little bay will be very much populated and kind of dense, pretty dense actually. So yeah, that's what we've got going on in this one. The first thing I did in this one was to work a little bit on the road layout. I did sort of start doing that in the last episode. At least I showed off the layout I had planned in the live gameplay. However, I think I deleted almost everything of it, basically. I don't know if I also showed you the river I made, but if I didn't, I basically created a small river, or like almost a creek. It's not that huge, from the swamp near Bournemouth College and all that area, and basically dragged it all the way through, kind of basically following, crossing the freeway and following the train line, and then eventually leading out to a little area near the harbor. So I wanted to do that because basically I just want to give it more of a unique terrain almost, because this map is pretty much flat, except the mountains of course, but everything else is very much flat, which is great if you're playing like vanilla, no mods and nothing like that. It's very easy and very great to have a flat map, because it means that you can build almost the same anywhere really, and it doesn't really matter. But I do have a lot of mods here, and I'm trying to make something look realistic and look beautiful. So and in my opinion, you find beauty in this game in diversity. That you have a map with giant mountains, huge rivers, small creeks, plains, valleys, whatever. I want to have all of that. So that was the reasoning behind creating a small river, and you're gonna see that in the next episode, that we're gonna work a little bit more around the river, make it look a bit more natural. But that is of course not this one, this episode. Starting off this episode with of course some, as I already said, road layout, and then I did some industry underneath a very cool looking bridge in my opinion. It's very much like a landmark bridge. Not too huge of course, but it's reasonably sized. It is one of those 3-lane roads, the biggest road you can get. I chose that one because it had a very nice looking, the bridge on that road looks a lot better than the 2-lane roads. So, or 4-lane, 6-lane. Yeah, no, it's this road is 6-lane, and the bridge coming with it looks a lot better than the 4-lane roads. All of these are vanilla of course. So I really like how it looks around that area, with industry hiding beneath the bridge. You definitely see that in real life, and it's not a big area of course. Most of the industry in this place will be at the harbor, but some a little bit will be in that area. Maybe it's sort of, it used to be a lot bigger, but maybe the harbor expanded and a lot of the industry moved over to that spot. Could be the case, but really happy with how it turned out. Now the area that we're gonna build in this one, it's not going to be the downtown of this city. It's gonna be sort of its own little downtown, almost, because when a city grows to a certain size, it's not enough having just one city center. Well, you do have that one, you do have like one main one, but you often see that around certain areas a bit further away, it kind of turns out, or you get sort of like a second urban core, which is not as big as the other one, but reasonably sized. And this one is sort of like the same thing. It's very much built up with a few kind of tall buildings, pretty tall actually, but the sheer size of it isn't too big, because we're gonna have a proper downtown in this city. I want to have sort of like an older downtown, like a typical small American town city center with maybe like 2-3 stories tall buildings, just like a quiet, not really quiet, but I don't want a city center with super tall buildings. I want these like taller offices to maybe be close to the downtown, but the downtown core is very much smaller, not as tall, but definitely got more charm, more soul, and a lot older than the sort of the office core. But this is not the downtown. This is not the office core that has been talking about. That will be in later episodes. But this is sort of like, maybe at one stage it was a kind of separate area, but as the city grew, it sort of merged into one. But you still have a feeling when you're being here that this is its own thing. But actually, it's rather close to the downtown, and it's of course a part of the city as a whole. But it's nice to have sort of like a second downtown, as I said. I sound like a broken record. I think I said downtown and city core way too much. But yeah, I'll move away from that for now. Also, a little competition for you. Can you guess the inspiration behind this area? By the I won't say like by the beach, but by the shoreline, the road network, road layout. I had a certain area in mind when I created it, and I'm just interested in seeing if it's, do you spot how where I take inspiration from? I can give you a hint. The climate is totally different. The climate that I based it off, that area, is a lot more warmer than the climate that Boulder Cove has. As I stated, Boulder Cove is either or it's in the northwest of the US, or the west in Canada, British Columbia, around those parts. But the inspiration behind this area is a lot more further south. So I don't know if I should mention anything else. It's not a copy, but it's very much inspired by a certain area. So I'm interested in seeing if actually someone gets it. Yeah, I hope they do. So yeah, comment down below if you think you know what where I got inspiration from. Moving on, I placed down more pubs and hotels near the stadium after comments in the last video. I did answer to that comment in saying that this is a much newer stadium. Maybe it was built like 10 years ago, maybe even like 6 or 7 years ago. So it's rather new. It's very much built up, like very much planned when it's built up. So they probably destroyed maybe a neighborhood or maybe an industrial area in order to get the space to build this stadium. But this is very much an area that a lot of tourists come, whether that is to watch the game or maybe that is to see maybe a concert. This would probably be a great area to have a concert in the stadium. You do often see that. So I placed down a few more like restaurants and pubs and one kind of big hotel, very much near the stadium, so that they have a little more option, and I think it fits very well, because then it's not stadium and then suddenly it's a neighborhood. I wanted to have sort of transition between the stadium and the more residential areas, and those little shops and offices and the hotel, it works pretty well in my opinion. And the rest of this episode I think is purely plopping down buildings, houses. I do plop down every single one of them. I do not zone, because I don't know why. I guess I got a lot of patience. You do of course feel that you have more control when you place down every single building, but I might consider trying to zone once we get starting working on even bigger neighborhoods. That might be the case, but for now it kind of works fine. And definitely areas where there is a grid pattern, I tend to just move it to highlight those buildings that I want and just copy them and maybe turn them around and place them somewhere else. That is a very good tactic. It saves me a lot of time, but it has to be a grid pattern in order to make that work. And I think that can work out pretty fine, because the bigger neighborhoods in the bigger cities, they will have pretty large grid patterns, because as I said, this is an American or Canadian built, and they do tend to have a lot of grid patterns. Not always. I feel like everyone thinks that US cities or Canadian cities are just grids. They're not. They're far from all of that, but more grid than European cities. But not everyone, of course. Keep that in mind. I also said or mentioned, I think, that I'll probably finish up this city in like 1 or 2 episodes, or 2 or 3. That was a lie. I might need a bit more. So what I have planned now is to work on the area near the train station. I'll show you all of this in the live gameplay that is soon to come right up, but I might need 2 or 3 episodes to finish up this area. Hopefully 2, but we'll see. So that is 2 more weeks of this. I hope that's okay, because I do enjoy working on the city, because it's been a while. Well, actually, I never worked on a proper urban build in Boulder Cove. It's been smaller towns, or other than that, it's just been making farms and working on like nature reserves and all that. So it's good to actually play the game how it's supposed to be played, almost. But Yeah, I've been rambling for quite a long time now. I have more notes to talk about, but I guess I'll mention it in another episode. But that's it for the time lapse. I'll hope you'll join me in the live gameplay, and after that it's cinematics, and after that you can do whatever you want because then the video is finished. Yeah. All right. I'll see you soon. All right. So we are back. Can you now see where I'm taking inspiration from? It's probably easier to see now once I got the camera still. It's a kind of a known spot. Kind of like it. But yeah, this is what we've been working on. Kind of big, isn't it? I'll probably start over here towards the stadium. Yeah. Okay. As you probably can guess, the game is just finished, and that means we got traffic problems. However, I'm okay with that. I do like seeing that. I do like seeing people, look at the amount of people walking as well. I like seeing them rush to the stadium and back to the stadium. It makes it feel very much realistic and very much alive. And if it's been like this all the time, then I would have to do something about it. But it's very rarely. You can see here they play like once a year, so I'm I'm okay with that. Yeah, I don't really have that much to do these players, but I'm okay with how it turns out here. I did went ahead and placed down a toll booth. I want to have toll booths on each and every exit and entrance to the city, so that you have to pay to get in. I don't know how realistic that is in the US or Canada, but over here it's very much the case. And most of them want to use this lane because that means they can get off here, of course. But if it's too much, then I can, of course, just turn it off, because they do stop here. And once I turn it off, they eventually can just drive right ahead without stopping, which can help the situation here. What else? Let's see. We got a pub here with a little nice area outside. We got a seafood restaurant. We got another restaurant here. Sally's. They got several restaurants here in Boulder Cove. I think they actually got one in Skarloey as well. It's kind of cool. Here it is, the Bulky Gold Beach. I don't know about the name, but that's it comes with the asset, of course. Vanilla, of course. But it's a nice looking stadium. No, stadium. It's a nice looking hotel. It looks a bit older than this one, which is kind of cool. Kind of what I intended to create. So pleased with that one. And on the back side of this, we got more shops here and some offices as well. So with some nice parking spots. A library. This is the first time I placed this one down. Comes with the campus DLC. I don't know what it does, but it looks good. And just plenty of more houses all over this side. The idea behind all this is that this area on this side of the tracks is they're like low middle class and a bit further down, if you know what I mean. We might have someone with some cash living up here, for example, or up here where there's a view. Sorry about the frame rate. but most of this area is it's not the richest. They got a high school here and a elementary school over here. A nice custom, almost custom, no, fully custom. I won't call it a stadium, like a field. That's what I'm going with. A American football field with these track and field around it. They are just paths, really. But they look good. They look really good. Here is a cul-de-sac. Kind of cool, right? Kind of cool. Is there anything else up on this side here? This area is a bit more built up with some shops and a bit taller building here and a nice little park. And of course, a pretty large, like, is there a proper name for it? Food factory. But I'll probably, I think it's a more or less slaughterhouse where they, well, slaughter cows. Here they are, living their best life before eventually not living anymore. And some more fields out pretty far away from anything more urban. That is what I'm going with it. Cemetery here. Try to make it a little bigger. From a distance it kind of looks like it could be a cemetery, but yeah, there are no graves here. And fire station, and it's soon to be nighttime. We got some offices here and some more shops and stuff like that alongside this road. They got a pretty nice view of the harbor. It's not the nicest. It would be a lot nicer if the harbor wasn't there, of course, but pretty nice nonetheless. Do like, of course, these buildings. They are a mix between regular vanilla and some buildings from, I can't remember the pack, but it's a content creator pack where you buy it off Steam fairly cheap, and it's made by famous content creators or asset creators on the workshop. So I think these are made by what's it called? Ami Polizei Funk. That might not be how you pronounce it, but like this one, for example, and that one he made. This one and these ones as well, I'm pretty sure he made. They look pretty good, and they give you more different options when it comes to what you want to place down in your more urban areas, and I really like that. Is there anything else? I very much enjoy this area. It's very crammed, lots of houses just bunched together. I like it. I like it a lot. Like, there's basically no space between these houses, because it's very much urban, this area. I really much enjoy how it looks. I decided to just go with a park in this area, and with a gazebo. And I don't know if you can see it, but we got some homeless people here. I thought this was a nice little detail with some tents underneath the train tracks. I would imagine this would be a spot for them, between, close to the industrial, close to a big hospital. This is probably an area where they are not like officially allowed to be, but the city council don't do anything with it because they don't really have anywhere else to go. But yeah, I do like it. I don't like people being homeless, but I probably would have a few more of them in this town. Maybe over here near the train tracks. It's becoming nighttime soon, and I'm okay with that because I want to show you how it looks at nighttime. I hate when these guys go here. The cargo train, they're not supposed to go there. They're supposed to it's just supposed to be passenger trains. Anyways, here's some industry beneath the bridge. Got a warehouse and some more smaller, like it's almost like smaller warehouses. This one looks like it just could be warehouses. And a parking lot here. You can barely see it. Now I can see it pretty good. That people can like park here and then you can just walk on this trail alongside the main road here. And eventually it leads up towards this area. Very nice hike. Here's what I don't know if the harbor should be ferry stop. I don't know if it should be here, but or maybe it should be further up, maybe further down. Not quite sure, but that is like a placeholder. And of course the bridge itself, very nice looking. It's not too tall. I don't want it to be like towering, but it's definitely some height. And I'm pretty sure a ferry can fit underneath it. If not, I'll just raise it, no issues there. Yeah. Also, yeah, this thing is a toy factory. Very nice. It's a toy factory from the Industries DLC. Very nice spot to have it in this little. I didn't know what to have in this little spot between the roads here, so I just went with this one, and it turned out pretty great. And this is how this city looks at nighttime. Can't wait till I finish up this entire area. And this is how everything looks we built so far. It's incredibly dark. I can't see anything except the lights, of course. I think the moon isn't up yet. The moon, of course, brings some light to the city. I really can't wait till we get much more built up, and it looks a lot better when it's in nighttime. But it's getting there. It's getting there. Let's go back and how it looks during the daytime, so we can actually see something. Here we go. I don't know if there's that much more to show off. I think I showed you the majority of things. This little area, I thought I should like try to build something like nice looking, but I'm not sure. Because if you're on ground level, you don't really see anything really. You can just see it from above, and it doesn't really make that much sense. So I might redo that at one point, but for now it stays. Is anything else? Oh yeah, I thought this was pretty cool. So this is just a asset that I found. Don't mind the cars in the water. These are just parking lots that come with the asset. But I looked at the back of it, and it looked like it could sort of be a little spot for boats basically to come in. So I don't think boats come here anymore, but maybe in the past they could get shipments directly in. This is also a sign that I placed down myself, so it's a custom sign. But maybe like very occasionally they they do get like small boats coming in and delivering goods. Could be the case, but I just felt like it did fit really well. And these tires, I placed down these myself, to sort of make it look a lot more like it actually is a place for boats, small ships to come in and deliver and take goods with them. So yeah, but don't mind the cars. They are I don't know what they do. Also, the hospital, I felt like this was a good spot for it, right next to the train line here, with a small cafe, and I sort of wanted to try different levels. So of course this parking lot isn't connected, but you can imagine you can drive down here and park in this area, and maybe there's a door somewhere on this floor, or else you can park up here, and don't mind this woman, and you can walk this pathway to this door right here. So that might be a thing. Maybe it's like a entrance for workers and parking lot for workers down here, people who work at the hospital. This might be a place if you're visiting, like you're just gonna park here for like 10 minutes, and then there's entrance over here, and if you're gonna park here and stay for a few hours, then you park over here. That might be the case, and then you enter maybe over here or over there. It's just these tiny little details that I like to come up with myself, and I don't really share them, but I thought I'd share them right now just to let you know my thoughts behind this. But yeah, this is what we got so far. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Really happy with how this neighborhood sort of, the transition between very much built up, very much urban, to this little hillside that we got going on. Maybe it's a ridge, I don't know, but I really, really enjoy it. And in the next episode, we're gonna work on this part of the town. This part right here near the train station will be offices, a bit taller buildings. This will be downtown with the more commercial buildings and little, they're not as tall and new, but they're older and prettier in my opinion. Around here we might have those big box warehouse like Walmart, IKEA stuff. I don't have those assets, but I might do a bit of I might go in the workshop to find someone, or else I just find something that's vanilla, sort of like what we got over here. This is sort of like a retail park, so basically just big parking lots and big stores around here. Generic housing all the way over there, nothing special. Maybe a few more farms up there, and this might be a surprise. Might be a surprise, I don't really know, but that's what I had planned. How long have I been talking for? Jesus Christ, I've been talking for too long. That's it for this episode. I hope to see you in episode 14. I can't believe we come this far. This is the town that we got so far. Episode 12, episode 13. I would like to thank you all for watching. I hope to see you soon. And bye for now.
Is there a place with sun all year round and pina coladas with pretty faces and sand on the ground? I want to stop this ongoing train before I lose my mind and go insane. I don't wanna sleep every night. I wanna light a spark in the dark. I don't wanna say I'm okay, living the same every day. Come run beside me, let's take off. Let's leave this place for another place. Oh, maybe all we need is different.